Okay, what's up? Happy Monday, y'all. Welcome to another week, the final recap of January. And when I tell you, I have not been this consistent in anything in a long time, so it feels really good to still be doing these. But as usual, let's go ahead and recap the week, what I did, what I learned, and what I felt. We've got some tea here. Variety is the spice of life, is the little affirmation. The brand is Buddha's tea, Buddha teas. Okay, what I did, the soft launch of the Life Leap happened. We've had dozens of applications, which have been so beautiful and humbling to read through. So it was just really exciting. Like, we're still in, yeah, it's 9 months. Yeah. You think about the term of like birthing a baby. I feel like we are fully bringing this digital baby to life. So it feels really humbling that we've been working on this for 9 months and it feels like fully realized, like it's ready for the world to fully see. If you're a fellow creator or entrepreneur, you might know that feeling of just, you have the idea and it makes sense to you, but you're not yet sure exactly how to articulate it and exactly what it is that you're doing. So that process can be humbling because it's like it makes so much sense to you one day and the next it doesn't. So I feel like there is so much clarity, momentum, and excitement this time around. Like, the first launch was like a pilot program, and essentially they shaped what the program is. And now that we're done with them, or we're continuing with them now in the post curriculum phase. Anyways, long story short, it's been great to just bring it out into the world and be really proud of the website. So that feels good. I think I posted like 9 times on Instagram, which, 9 times in 5 days. If you go to my Instagram, I think currently like it'll take you 14 years to get through every single post. Like, if you read one post a day, it takes you 14 years. So just the consistency over a decade. Just really proud of that, and just continuing to birth new ideas, bring them to life, and just test out new formats. I think the creator journey, like, you're gonna go in and out of excitement and momentum with like a certain message or even a certain topic or subject. And I've always called myself like nicheless, like I am the niche and my life is the niche. And so whatever I'm doing in my life, that's what I post. So it's hard because sometimes you don't know where your life is going. So you don't know what exactly to post. But I feel like I did a lot of just execution. That's the word. I did a lot of execution this past week, which feels really good because you can have all the ideas in the world, but the world will not know about a single one of them unless you put it out there. So I put a lot of just things out there, which felt really good. So that's what I did. What else did I do? Surely there's more, more to my life than. Oh, I have the Aura Ring. The Aura Ring has been out for years, but I've always been on the fence because I used to have a Whoop band, and then I got the Apple Watch, and now the Aura Ring. So I'm only 4 days in, I think. So still testing out how it feels, but so far so good. And one thing I will say is, like, it is wild how these companies will just milk us dry. I mean, for what we get, like the efficiency in tracking our data, our health metrics, like that should be priceless. So let me suck it up. But for context, with the Whoop band, if you're not familiar, it's WHOOP, Whoop band. That was the first gadget that I really had that like tracked all of the data and just even my recovery, the strength of my workouts. It was really insightful. And it was $24 a month. And then the band itself is like $300. So after 2 years, you realize that adds up. So I was like, I'm done paying this. And $24 isn't a lot per month. And I think I was just like, for what I feel like I'm using it for, like I then got the Apple Watch, which the Apple Watch is one price. And so I like the efficiency of the Apple Watch's metrics and how I could get all of that for free, essentially. And then the Aura Ring just kept like I think by the seventh friend that told me how much they love theirs, I was like, okay, I'm sold. And we often hear that it takes 7 times for a marketing message to reach us before we can make a purchasing decision. And I was like, oh, this is great data. And like, I am market research, because the seventh friend that told me, I was like, all right, I'm buying this. So yeah, this is the Gold Horizon style. I got it because it matched my engagement ring. So yeah, I like it. So far, so good. So we'll see. What else did I do? I got back into working out. Working out. I was walking on the treadmill. I don't know about you, but I can go like 6 weeks of like an incredible routine, and then I go 2 months just like doing nothing. So just trying to make an intentional effort to like make working out an everyday part of life. And I have this walking pad that I got on Amazon, and it's just great for I have it in my bedroom now because I just need to look at it first thing in the morning when I wake up, and just like not think about like, oh, I have to do that. No, it's like, it's a part of my morning routine. So I really enjoy how I've structured my mornings now. And I also think you should be changing your morning routine like regularly to match the season that you're in. So yeah, it really works now. So I wake up, the first thing I do is I brush my teeth, I do my skincare, and then I actually get back in bed. Hear me out. I get back in bed because I have this like wooden tray on my bed, and it has like my daily devotional, my Bible, the Message version, and then a couple other books. Like one is called Dangerous Prayers. It's really good. And just a couple like Jesus Listening and Jesus Calling, both by Sarah Young. So many of you know the Jesus Calling devotional. So there's a couple other branches of that. So yeah, I just kind of like do some studying and Bible reading in the morning, and then the YouVersion Bible app, I'll do the daily message. So yeah, that takes a little over half an hour. And then at that point, I feel full. Like I feel poured into, I feel ready for the day. I feel armored. Like life is not always going to be convenient, and it's not meant to always go your way. But when you start the day feeling like you're catching up, or scrolling social media, or checking your phone or emails, and you're already like triggered or behind, then you're spending all day playing catch up, and you don't really have that time to yourself. I call myself a mediocre meditator because I'm still working on making it something that I enjoy. I'll have seasons where I'm like, every day meditate for 10 minutes. But I think my meditation now comes through scripture and prayer. So that feels really good. And I mean, Stefan, my fiance, he'll meditate for half an hour and it's nothing. So it's really inspiring, but I'm not there yet. And what else I did is I picked him up from the airport. So we're back in the US for another week and a half. And then we head to the Middle East and then to Asia. So the background of these videos, oops, it dropped inside. The background of these videos are going to change in the coming weeks. And yeah, I just feel really, really, really excited about what's coming up, and just Valentine's Day plans. And we have our pilot program students that we're meeting in Asia, which is really cool, because a part of the Life Leap is that we have an in-person mastermind. So, and they get to vote on the location. So it feels really good. Okay, what I learned is that on the other side of hard conversations is freedom. And I might have already touched on this in prior weeks, but I feel like I've just been having a lot of really hard conversations that feel scary in the moment, but like afterward, I'm like, oh, all of a sudden 10 pounds lighter. Yeah, I don't know. I know that we all have the best of intentions and kind hearts and pure souls, and we want the best for everyone. But yeah, I just really, 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 really love how much more firm and assertive I'm becoming. I feel like because I was such a troubled teenager, I was mostly spending all of my 20s just like catching up and like proving to myself that I'm a good person because I was like kicked out of school, always getting in fights in elementary school, talking back to my teacher, being sent to the principal's office, mom having to pick me up, almost getting expelled. Like I was that kid. I was a nightmare. So if you have kids that are nightmares, there's hope. They can change. So, yeah, I feel like I'm able to reach back into my teenage self that had that assertiveness, and I'm able to meet her at this level who has the kindness and compassion now. So I can be assertive with kindness, and I can be compassionate with boundaries. So that has been, just a great journey, because I think we forget that like we teach people how to treat us by what we accept. And that puts the responsibility on your shoulders, which we don't always like, but it's the truth. And we can't control other people's words, other people's reactions, other people's behavior. So we might as well get better at, like being mindful of how we respond. Yeah, that's what I learned. And then how I felt this week. I felt very like full. I feel like I used to say that every week. I felt a little bit all over the place, but also like spurts of excitement, spurts of clarity, spurts of just really just alignment. Oh, gratitude. I have this like little jar. I don't know where it is. This is just, it's common. The gratitude jars where every time you are grateful for something, you write it on a paper, you put it in the jar. End of the year, you read all the things that happened to you that year. I use it for two reasons. So I write gratitude notes, but then I also have prayer requests. So when I was filling up the jar, I had like 6 things I was grateful for, and then 1 prayer request. And I was like, I really like this ratio. I like that I'm not demanding much of God right now. That I'm able to recognize just how much he's already blessed me, and that just as is, things are beautiful and I don't need much change. And I think keeping this in perspective, that like if I lost it all today, I would trust myself and God's plan to build it all back tomorrow. So I'm also practicing like detachment, like nothing that I have, I'm like super attached to. That feels really good because it just allows me to move through the world and just on my own journey of life, just in this like, just really beautiful space of, healthy detachment to things, to people. So that's really good. I guess that's it. That was a little nice, short and sweet. I think just an update on YouTube. What I'm learning about showing up here consistently is that I kind of gave myself rules in how I'm supposed to operate to maintain the consistency. Sometimes we say we want to be consistent at something, and then we just hope for the willpower to do it. And I think I was very deliberate in saying that like every Sunday night, this is my recording time. And then what I actually do is the YouTube thumbnail and the uploading. I do that all Sunday night as soon as I'm finished recording. And then I have it scheduled to upload Monday at 6 a.m. So by the time I wake up, it's already up. I don't have to think about it. And I was someone that never really used the scheduling feature on any apps. I love that feeling of posting in real time, of like the anxiety of like, ooh, what am I going to say? And like changing the caption at the last minute, especially on Instagram. Like to this day, every single caption that I upload, like I could proofread it 1,000,000 times. And as soon as I upload it, I'm like, oh, I want to change this. So knowing that with YouTube, I'm just like, whatever. And I think that's why everyone should be posting in tandem on 2 different platforms. One where they have like actively curated not even a persona, but a brand story. And then the other one where it's just like behind the scenes and kind of like more raw and unfiltered. And the truth is, like if I came to Instagram with this version of myself, there'd be too many questions. And I'm not here for questions of how I want to do things. I think one thing that we have to remember as well is that when someone's offering vulnerability, they're not looking for solutions. Like, I think we see people post something vulnerable, and this would happen a lot on Instagram. I would share a lesson from a vulnerable part of my past, and then my friends would text me like, "Are you okay? And I'm here if you need to talk." And it would just be this weird pity dump. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sharing it to free someone else. Like, I feel free about it, and that's why I'm sharing it." But because I would share things that a lot of people hold shame around, they would project their shame and their insecurity on me, which is always really fascinating. So just know that, like, as I share things here and as you see people share things that are vulnerable, they're not looking for solutions, just like support for where they're at. Like just this human connection of like, huh, close human. Good to know. So I think I'm really using YouTube to humanize myself. Whatever like pedestal people have put me on, it's like, all right, watch my YouTube and bring me back down to human level. So I think, yeah, it's been a fun journey. Okay, I'll leave y'all with that. Thank you again for just being here, and happy January. Happy February. I hope you had a happy January, and no matter what goals you had for this month and what goals you have for the future month, just continuing to enjoy the journey and the process, because whatever it is, whatever that dream is, you won't reach happiness at the dream. The happiness comes in the day-to-day journey, the daily progress, and the persistent hustle towards something in the future, a future version of yourself, not necessarily a materialistic possession, but just knowing that you are advancing towards a goal. Like, that is the happiness and fulfillment. So I really hope we all just keep that in perspective, because my day-to-day is the dream. There's nothing specific that I'm chasing, like, oh, the big house, the first class, reached it. Like, it's the day-to-day where I'm like, man, I'm living the dream. My day-to-day is great. I literally do what I want. I live how I want. I serve people that I love. I have a business I love with a partner I love, a life that I love. Like, this is the dream. That's the day-to-day. It's not some grandiose version of myself that feels unattainable. So I hope that just contextualizes wherever it is that you all are trying to get to on your journey. You just remember that the day-to-day is where the magic is at. All right. Cheers. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.